What's interesting is over reviewing or listening or experiencing multiple hundreds of products, I found one interesting thing. Stuff that looks good, sounds good. I know, weird. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk about why pretty hi-fi makes things matter and why life is too short for ugly hi-fi. Even if you're on a budget, it doesn't mean you can't add some visual stimulation, because some of these products that I'm going to talk about are fairly expensive. Some are moderately priced, but some are expensive. And the first one, the one that the light bulb really went on for me about this concept, was the Advanced Paris A10 Classic. And why I love that product is because of the giant VU meters, the coloring, how the VU meters actually light up. And whenever I have that product or their power amp in my rack, I just enjoy the music better. I listen longer. I don't know why. It just makes me feel good. The A10 Classic is an integrated amplifier, comes in at $2,500, but can handle everything. Has HDMI input, a whole bunch of analog inputs, has a fully functioning DAC on it, which means it has USB, optical, coaxial, 2 subwoofers out, an HDMI ARC in, tone controls, loudness, fully functioning remote control. But if it's a little too much money, or you already have a DAC or a preamp that you like, they also make a pure power amp that comes in at $2,000 that has the same VU meters. I get it, still expensive. Well, you can get something from One Little Bear. I can't remember the name of the company. I will link it in the description. But it's basically an amp and speaker switcher that has VU meters in it. If you have a really affordable system with Fozzy audios, maybe an SMSL SU1, something like that, you can add one of these VU meters, and again, it's going to give you more visual stimulation while you're listening to your music. Fozzy has a really good one. Comes in 2 colors. And I will link that in the description. The problem with pretty is usually it comes at a premium. So pretty normally equals premium. I have 2 favorite turntables. One of which is a Michelle Techno Deck. Beautiful. It's on loan to a friend because he wanted to know what all the hubbub was about. But I have another very pretty turntable that probably doesn't sound nearly as good as other turntables at a fraction of the cost, but this thing looks awesome. Why? Because it's a Metallica limited edition turntable from Project. It's their logo, the Metallica star, Ninja Star. Every time I put a record on this turntable, I keep glancing. It's like when you have a car. You have a new car or something, you love the way it looks, you park it, and you walk away, and you just have to look back. Look at that. That's mine. That's how I feel about my turntable. Looking good, turntable. Your turntable's like, thank you, because I feel good, because I'm so pretty. And I'm not like other turntables. There are a ton of turntables out there, but none of them have the distinct visual interest that my Metallica turntable has, or my Techno Deck. Problem is, most of the turntables that are affordable pretty much look cut and paste. Although U-turn turntables, very slim plinth, they're kind of cool. But I listen to way more records on the Techno Deck and the Metallica Project. Streamers with a screen. I know some people don't care about this, but I do. Any streamer with a screen I am drawn to. And with the release of the Weem Ultra, getting a streamer with a screen has never been easier, has never been more affordable at $330. The DMP A6 from Evasolo. Also kind of affordable. I think it's $800, so not really affordable. So the most affordable streamer with a screen that's not built on like Volumio or something would be the Weem Ultra at $330. If that doesn't matter to you, then that doesn't matter to you. If you're wanting If you're running Rune and you have an iPad or something, I get that that's kind of visual stimulation. I understand that. But I like something on the unit itself. Even when it just turns to the clock, when the clock pops up, even when it turns to fake VU meters. And I would rather spend the extra $200 on a streamer with a screen than one that doesn't have a screen, even though you get some more functionality with the Weem Ultra. Like a phono stage, like being a preamp, really. Streamers that I like are obviously the Weem Ultra. I don't mind the Eversolo DMP A6, but if I was spending that money, I would probably save up and buy the Cambridge CXN 100, I believe it is. But for me, I like a screen. Pretty screen. Another thing you can get if you're on a budget and you don't have a ton of money to switch out to, I don't know, a $2,000 power amp, is this little thing. It's from Duke Audio. They sent this to me for like a Christmas gift every year. Some of the companies send me a little thing to say thank you for doing what I do, I guess. But this is like it's not a spectrum analyzer. Basically, it just gives feedback as far as what sound is going on, the level of sound. If this thing would start to work. Check. So you can turn this up. Can you see that? You can see that. You can turn this up depending upon the sensitivity that you want. But I just put this thing on my rack and it's kind of fun. The kids love it. And when the lights go out, you and your romantic partner can cuddle up and listen to some music. Hello. So there's a whole bunch of different settings on this, and I don't think they're very expensive at all. Probably about $50 or something. Now there is an option to run this between your components. I wouldn't do that. I would just plug in one of these micro USB. This is old school, right? So I don't know if there's a USB-C version of this. If there is, I would buy that one. But this is a lot of fun if you're on a budget and you can add a little spice, visual spice to your auditory life. But it's cheap, so you can add a little bit of a light show to your hi-fi, even if it's inexpensive. So tell me, for you, is pretty hi-fi important to you? I think life is too short not to have pretty hi-fi, and is the biggest surprise I've ever had as far as what actually impacts my enjoyment. Because sonically, of course, that's important, but I think we're missing the point if we don't look at the holistic, the entirety of the experience. And whether or not we want to admit it, how things look play a big role in how I enjoy my music. What are your favorite components? What are the prettiest components that you love? Because there's even some traditional components from places like Shket, the Kara, the Erd. I like the way it's kind of rolled off on front. Not on the top, but on the front. Tell me your favorite looking components that sound good. Have you ever chosen a pretty component over an ugly or a mediocre looking component because it makes you feel better too? Put it in the comments. If you want to, buy one of my mugs. Rocktopus on the front, binge listen and fill your soul with happiness on the back. Like and subscribe if you like this video. Also check out my latest video. I'll put that right here or right here. Don't binge watch Netflix or Hulu unless it's college football. Binge listen and fill your soul with happiness. And with that, I'm Randy. I'm the Cheap Audio Man.
This is too smooth. I honestly didn't even really want to say anything on this, but that's what the people want. That's what I came here for. So we're gonna get into it. I like my coffee black. Wife too, don't turn this into no controversy. It's my boo. I can make $250,000 off a haiku, and I can make another quarter off it ×2. If it's money on the table, I'll be on it like Bobby or Epic. You peep the aesthetic, it's hard to forget it. I hear you talking, but you're hardly right. I'm the voice of your prototype. Summertime and then why?